My name is Richard Trupiano, and I served in the United States Army from July 1982 through July 1989. My first claim was approximately 2017, and from there it's been every couple years. The first claims were the basic things that you go through, the ringing in the ears, things like that. And then from there were more extended claims of other body parts falling apart. The biggest thing holding me back was myself, the fear of, do I deserve this? And then being able to be honest with myself and open up and accept the realities of what I went through and being able to tell my story. I think the fear and self-doubt finally went away when I said, this is who I am. I need to be able to express what had happened and the reality of what happened, and then being able to convince myself to move forward. It had been on my mind for many years, and I just kept putting it aside, thinking that I could handle it on my own without telling my story, and it didn't mean anything to me or anybody else. And I guess I finally got to the point to stop hiding the facts and stating the facts instead. It's really surprisingly, VetComm made everything so easy. I reached out in October, started the process, did everything I was supposed to do on my end, met with my shrink in early November. That was probably one of the best appointments I'd had with a psychologist in years, to be able to spend a couple hours just discussing the reality of life in the military and what I had to deal with. VetComm made it really easy to follow the process. They followed up with emails, always checking in on me, making sure things were good. And the process was seamless. I think the biggest thing I found beneficial was it was easy to follow the process. It was easy to get the appointments once they were set up, to go to the appointments, to make the appointments happen, to not step back and say, well, I'm not ready for this, but just to be able to move forward. They seem to be able to make it easy on you, make it like it's just another day and you're just going to go to this. And that helped tremendously. So my rating that I received a couple years ago was 80%, which was really a good rating. There were some things left out, mainly that I didn't push for. And VetComm helped me achieve getting to 100%. And that was really an eye-opener. I didn't anticipate it happening, but when it came through, I was excited for it. Oh, I recommend VetComm to any veteran who is trying to get an increase and doing it the right way, and to be honest with it and try to move forward. Like everything else, everybody's a little concerned about what they're doing and skeptical about it. I think the biggest thing is to not be afraid to approach it from an open standpoint of talking about it, discussing it, get your medical records, get a copy of your medical records so you can review what it is you actually went through, whether you were in for 3 years, 10 years, or 20 years. And I think that is where it helped me tremendously, because I was able to receive those records before moving out to California. And it really opened my eyes to how often I was in for basically the same things. And if it wasn't, a couple times a year, it was like, wait a minute, I went to sick call for these things. And they really stood out. And that would, to me, was the biggest thing, is look at your medical records and look what it's done to you and being on sick call. Because even on active duty, you really don't go to sick call until it's the end, when you can't walk and your ankles are killing you, or your knees are killing you. You kind of avoid sick call, or even going to talk to your local pastor at your church who wants to get you into counseling because of what you're struggling with. And so to me, that was a big step. And they made it just so easy for me. The person, and I apologize, I don't have her email in front of me, but the person that I was working mostly with was always on top of checking in, and I can't recall her name. I try to keep my emails clean and kind of so that I have a clean phone and a clean email. But the person that I worked with at VetComm, and there's probably a record of it, she was really good about checking in all the time, after, during the process, and even after the process. It was just reaching out, not to check on my status of have I heard anything, but more or less, how am I doing as a person? The status is already there. We're working on it. But she would always follow up with, hey, I'm just checking in, see how you're doing, what you're thinking, everything okay. And it was more or less it felt like it was a conversation of two people, friends, just going back and forth. And so that helped. It wasn't a business decision for her. It wasn't, oh, I'm doing my job to check on you. She made it feel like she just was genuinely, part of the process and genuinely involved. She was really good. She made me feel comfortable, and she didn't make me feel like I was a ticket that she was just checking in at. I was a person.